Thank you. It's really an honor to be with you this afternoon. My name is Frank Williams, and I'm a recovering accountant and a recovering attorney. And I launched Innovators4Good so that, like the White Queen in Alice in Wonderland, I would dream as many as 6 impossible things every day before breakfast. Our first dream is being considered by the Connecticut legislature, and its first public hearing starts right now. Where's the slide? There. Starts right now with this slide. Connecticut Innovators, the diamond sponsor for this event, is a state-sponsored innovation engine with a terrific team. It is also uniquely positioned to accelerate the Connecticut civic century. How? By launching a new Ideas for Connecticut platform to receive ideas for the common good. As anyone would be able to use a simple phone app to pitch an idea in a structured format. What? Why? How? Estimated costs and benefits. Who needs to be involved? Next steps. The platform would promote innovation justice while protecting and optimizing IP value with crowdsourced ideas from the regular folks. State residents are incentivized financially to participate. You or your teenage daughter could receive $5,000 or $50,000 per year for 10 years for a great idea, or $5 million per year for 10 years for the next Wheels on Suitcases idea. AI, with a little help from my friends at Connecticut Innovations, would make thousands of ideas become 100 ideas, and then a public-private committee would get from 100 to 20 ideas for investment decisions each year. Connecticut Innovations would match each of those 20 ideas with the right person in its growing entrepreneur ecosystem to get the idea to market. The Civic Century Idea Bank dashboard would be accessible to the general public. Governor Lamont gets to host a primetime annual awards event celebrating the top ideas. The awards event would also be seen in every school in Connecticut. Willow, whom you see, started saving her allowance for a 3D printer at age 8. She is now a serial inventor at age 9. Dalen's invention could change the lives of 1 million Americans who are visually impaired. And CT Invention Convention allows thousands of Willows and Dalens to showcase their inventions each year. Ideas generated in Connecticut have changed America and the world. Here are the first 3 ideas that I would submit using the phone app. First, a Willow-inspired idea. The state incentivizes every school in Connecticut to have a minimum of 20 3D printers. Milford and Hartford Public Schools and some other schools are taking small steps already. This idea will transform the education experience for every child and teacher in Connecticut. Second idea, state personal income tax is not collected for the week that you or I use some vacation days to volunteer in a school or at a nonprofit. If just 3% of Connecticut taxpayers engage, this will result in over 2 million additional hours of community service annually. Third idea, Connecticut requires its 100,000 taxpayers earning $200,000 or more per year to pay sales taxes on grocery purchases. Several states do this. It's a non-regressionary tax. The $100 million in new state revenues each year goes to Connecticut Innovations, increasing its annual revenue from $47 million to $150 million per year. For the Connecticut Innovations team members in the room, You're welcome. The new Ideas for Connecticut app will encourage anyone to contribute ideas to support Connecticut's civic century. May the human flourishing that results in Connecticut be an inspiration to America and to the nations of the world. Thank you.
Thank you for this, Frank. This was really informative. In terms of like the idea generations, how do you see this being like funded just over the next, let's say, 5 years, 10 years, like with this? I'm just curious about that.
The funding the first year in the state would have to be nice to Connecticut Innovations, and the funding would be used $500,000 for the $5 thank yous, and for the, as each idea gets sequenced, for the payments out to the design process, and then the committee would allocate $1 million the first year. But the one idea I mentioned, the grocery tax idea, would result in 1.2 billion. Oh, sorry. The one idea I mentioned, the grocery tax idea, would result in $1.2 billion in revenue to the states over the first 10 years. And oh, by the way, $75 million for someone in this room that's the first one to offer that idea when the contest starts.
So basically, the money comes from the state.
Come again.
The money for this, because this is driven by the money, and the money for it comes from the state.
Correct. But by the third year, there are at least 2 or 3 unicorn ideas being introduced, because when you get from 100,000 ideas to 3 ideas, 1 or 2 of them are unicorn ideas. So the state, this is going to be very, very revenue positive for the state.